Hey there, it's Kat, and I am talking to John Mceuen today. So excited. One of the founding members of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. How are you, John?
Hey, how you doing?
Great. I hear you have an event coming up in about a week or so in Nashville, Michigan at Foxview.
That's going to be fun. Playing with the Stranded Hobos. They're a Wounded Warriors group. I don't know if your listeners know what that is, but they should know about this band of guys. It's a bluegrass kind of group that are all, well, they're all veterans. And they've been in the service for 20, 25 years. And they've got together to play music they love. And they happen to like a lot of Nitty Gritty Dirt Band songs. And they like the songs from the Will the Circle Be Unbroken album. You familiar with that album?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't like it?
I put that together with the band and my brother. I started it by asking Earl Scruggs if he'd record with us. And he said, I'd be proud to. And that started the whole circle thing going. And Mike Medill called me a little over a year ago and said, would you record a song with us called Bluegrass Banjo Boy? And I said, well, I'd be proud to.
Oh, that's amazing. Fantastic. So are they playing with you? Are they backing you up? Or are they opening for you?
Oh, I'm going to do some music by myself. They'll do some music by themselves. And we'll do a lot of music together. We'll go through the history of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band that led up to the Circle album. The Circle album was cut in 1971, and the group started in 1966. Now, doesn't that sounds like another century? Well, fortunately, the Dirt Band music, there was some success in every decade. I was there for 50 years.
Oh, my gosh.
50.2 years.
That's crazy. Now, you are a banjo. I mean, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame for the American Banjo Museum.
Yeah.
Very cool. Is that your first instrument, was the banjo?
They inducted me into that a few years ago. That was really nice.
That's so cool. Now, was that your first instrument you played, or are you a guitar, basically strings?
I started playing the guitar. I started playing with the guitar for 17 years old for 6 months. Then I heard a group called the Dillards, and I started playing the banjo at 17 and a half.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was really, because of the Dillards, I got into the music. Rodney Dillard's a lifelong friend now. The Dillards, they were the Darlin family in the Andy Griffith Show. For those that don't remember the Dillards, then the Dirt Band started in 1966, and I ran that for many years. You
are credited for teaching a famous comedian to play the banjo.
You mean Steve Martin?
Yes. How did that come about?
Well, Steve and I met at 16 years old. Before either one of us played, we were trying to get a job in Disneyland, working in the magic shop. And we were successful. We did it on the same day. And we worked in the magic shop selling magic tricks for 3 years. One of the best times of both of our lives. We didn't know it could get any better. And halfway through that, the interest in the banjo came up. And I got one and started learning, and Steve, hey, I like that. He got one too, and I was learning faster than him, so I ended up showing him songs. Now, Steve's nice enough to say, oh, John Mceuen taught me how to play the banjo. But he learned a lot on his own. And then 50 years later, in 2010, I produced a bluegrass album on Steve Martin, and we won the Best Bluegrass Grammy, Best Album Grammy for Bluegrass.
That's amazing.
Well, my brother managed the band. My brother was managing the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and producing our records. And he also ended up managing Steve Martin.
Oh, my gosh.
I said, Bill, my high school buddy Steve is really funny. You ought to go see him. And he saw him and started managing him, too. It was a strange time. It was really, nobody knew anything. We didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
Steve was getting reviews in the L.A. Times that said, comedians should be funny. Steve isn't.
Now, did you play on King Tut?
Well, King Tut came along one day. Steve flew over from Las Vegas to where the Dirt Band was playing in Los Angeles, and he goes, "Hey, I got this idea for a song." Came in during sound check, and he started running down this song. He says, "When I sing this, you go King Tut, King Tut, Funky Tut." And anyway, he taught the group the song, and we went out and did it that night for the first time of doing it on stage anywhere, and it really made the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in L.A., and the roof raised a foot.
Oh, my gosh.
And the next week we were in Aspen, the group, and Steve happened to live in Aspen because my brother lived up there, his manager. And Bill got the band together in the studio, and we recorded King Tut. And did it all in 7 hours, recording, mixing, and finishing it.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it came out, it was a top #1 record. It sold 1.5 million copies.
You know, I had that on an 8-track tape. This is a question that I ask everybody that I interview, and this one's for you, John. What is the first record album you had when you were a kid?
Well, I didn't have albums when I was a little kid. I didn't start playing music till I was 17, and I didn't have any music albums other than the Music Man album. That was one that I bought. I was 15. You know, you got trouble, my friends, right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. And that album influenced me greatly. And when I started playing music, I started doing talking blues songs because I wasn't much of a singer. So I'd say things, do songs like, "Every time I come to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound. They got to quit kicking my dog around." Then I got a Dillard album, and it was great. Their first album, Back Porch Bluegrass.
That's amazing. I can't believe, because when I was a kid, that was the first actual theater show that I was in was Music Man.
Oh, Music Man, really?
Yes.
Oh, you're lucky.
Absolutely. It was so much fun. What a great, such a wide variety of styles of music in that show.
Yeah, the Beatles had a hit out of it, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Did you know that?
Yep, Till There Was You.
One of the early hits was "There Were Bells on the Hill, and I Never Heard Them Ringing."
Oh, my gosh. And so what was the most memorable moment where you said to yourself, I can't believe this is happening to me?
The most memorable moment of my life was when I asked Earl Scruggs if he'd record. He said I'd be proud to.
Wow.
But then the next most memorable moment was when I asked my wife, Marilyn, if she'd marry me, and she said yes.
Oh, my gosh. That is so
what a
great.
Fool. But it's lasted 30 years. And I don't know, there's been so many. I just heard today, an hour ago, that one of my grandchildren, my daughter's daughter, just had her second baby, so I've been a great-grandfather again. That's a memorable moment.
Oh, congratulations. That is fantastic. Yep.
I just want people to know that they're going to have a good time because they're going to see a wonderful group of guys that love music, and they love being wounded warrior veterans. Doesn't mean they're wounded in their playing, but they're really a good band, and I'm really pleased they asked me to join them, or whatever we're doing. We're getting together on that Saturday night. It's going to be fun.
Yes, Saturday night, November 9th at 7 p.m. It's at the Foxview Special Events Venue in Nashville, Michigan, and you can go to their website and order tickets, and there's going to be food there, there's going to be drinks, and, of course, the great John Mceuen. Thank you so much for joining me today, John.
Like I said to my mom, thanks for having me.
Well, you have a great time. We hope to see you on November 9th.
Okay, you will.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.